LaNorris Sellers is in. Cayden Green is out. Buckle up, Tiger fans. This is going to be interesting tonight. So the official word as of this morning is that LaNorris Sellers is definitely going to be playing for South Carolina. How much and how effective he'll be after that concussion, who knows? We're going to see. The more concerning news for the Tigers is that Cayden Green is out. And at the beginning of the season, that left side of the offensive line was going to be a huge question mark, and it was an actual problem. We were playing Central Arkansas. You saw we had a lot of issues on that left side. They got it turned around for the Kansas game. Louisiana game, the offensive line looked really good. Problem is, Cayden Green being out, it's going to be an issue tonight, especially with that South Carolina defense and their pass rushers. Now, the good news is there's ways to counteract that, knowing now that Beau Pribula is a really good throwing quarterback as well. We have a consistent and a very good running game. Now, the opponents that we've played so far between Central Arkansas, Kansas, Louisiana, I still don't think we know exactly what we have with this Tigers team. Is Ahmad Hardy the real deal? Is Jamal Roberts really, really good? We want to say yes, but we have a very limited data set to go off of with the first 3 games of this season. Now, the team has looked really good, and I still contend that this is Drinkwitz's best team, top to bottom on paper, that we've had in his era here at Mizzou. Now, that game against Kansas was a really good first test for the Tiger team. Going through a little adversity, especially being down by so much and coming back to win at the end of that game. Especially against, Jalen Daniels, who is an excellent college quarterback, one that is going to put up his numbers this season. But the Tigers did get it done against Kansas. Now, a healthy LaNorris Sellers, arguably coming into this season, was one of your top 5 best college football players in the country, a definite Heisman candidate. Even a slightly injured LaNorris Sellers is going to be a tough matchup for the Tigers to try to contain. I think this is a perfect example, a perfect time for the defense to star for the season and to basically bring this one home here in Columbia tonight for what is a very rare evening game for the Tigers. If the Tigers are going to win, that defense, our defense, is going to have to absolutely show up tonight. Our secondary, which looked a little bit exposed at times against that Kansas game, you're a little nervous if LaNorris Sellers is somewhat healthy. Now, obviously, look for South Carolina to completely attack that left side of the offensive line with Cayden Green being out. How much of the impact does that have with the running game with Ahmad Hardy and Jamal Roberts? We're going to find out. But now that we know a little bit more about Beau Pribula and his ability to not only run but to pass, I think you can absolutely game plan to protect yourself against that left side weakness that it's inevitably going to be a problem for the Tigers tonight. A strong running game by Roberts and Hardy and the play action pass is going to keep South Carolina at bay as much as possible. Now, the line on this game has gone all over the board, mostly in favor of the Tigers. I think it got up to about 14-point favorites. That is now shot down a bit to, I think it's 9.5 as of this morning. I think this game is going to be a lot closer than what a lot of us are thinking it was going to be earlier this week. And I think another earlier injury that happened a couple games ago for the Tigers is going to come back, and we're going to find out who we have in our kicker, because remember, Blake Craig is out for the season, and like I said early on, with him being out is one of the bigger problems Missouri is going to have to face going through the SEC season, and especially with very close games. Can the new, I think it's a freshman kicker, handle the pressure? You guys saw what happened to the Tennessee kicker against Georgia last weekend. That poor kid it looked like he was like hyperventilating at one point. And I think the announcers are like, he's just on the sideline when he was getting ready to kick that field goal to win it and then ended up missing it. The sideline reporter was saying that the kicker was like just breathing deeply or something, which that's a ton of pressure for these kids. And if we get into a really close game with South Carolina, can Robert Meyer from, I think he's from Colfax, California, win a game for the Tigers if we need him to get one through the uprights? Now, he's looked fairly good in the last couple games that he's played. And I think during the Louisiana game, he had 2 field goal attempts. He made one from 22 yards and then missed from 41. I almost think that this game could come down to a field goal here in Columbia tonight. Come on, Robert Meyer, let's do it. So yes, South Carolina has LaNorris Sellers coming in playing. That's a huge pickup for them for the game. But the Tigers have an equally dangerous quarterback in Bo Pribula. And I think we're starting to find out why all of those Penn State players, coaches, and fans were so upset about him leaving. Even to the point this week to where we're starting to see some of the Penn State podcasts and sports shows that are talking about what's going on up there, wondering if they should have kept Pribula and had Aller go, which I do think is kind of nonsense. Aller's probably an NFL quarterback, but it goes to show just how much they respected and hated to lose Pribula. Their losses are gain. So just in a few short hours, we're going to find out what this Tiger team really is made of for the season. This is the biggest test for the Tigers. South Carolina is a really, really good SEC team that, with or without LaNorris Sellers, is going to be a tough game to play even at home. Now, you remember the game last year. That's the one that went into overtime, and that Luther Burden catch that I thought Cook just kind of laid it into his left hand as he's running. I thought that was the game last year. South Carolina ended up coming back to win that one. That was a heartbreaker for the Tigers. These two teams play very close to each other every season. Now, for me, I am glad LaNorris Sellers is going to play in the game. How much, again, we don't know. But I think the issue that Missouri has through the season, and you can hear it from all of the prognosticators, all of the sports people across the nation, they keep talking about Missouri's easy schedule, which is absolutely ridiculous. Their strength of schedule going forward is like top 22, and it's all relative, and they don't say that. It's a top 22 schedule going forward. They face 5 ranked teams, and the knock for this Tiger team is that, and I think they're the only SEC team that people talk about like this, is that, well, they could get close to the college football playoffs this year, but it's because of their easy schedule. It's because of their manageable schedule. You play South Carolina, you play a ranked Auburn, an Alabama, a Texas A&M, and then everybody's darling, we go play Oklahoma over there this season. That is not an easy schedule. But with people already talking about this manageable schedule that the Tigers have, if we were to have faced South Carolina without LaNorris Sellers, I think, and even won the game without LaNorris Sellers, I think that would actually probably hurt the Tigers when it comes down to picking between the teams that qualify for the playoffs. But even if the Tigers can find a way to beat South Carolina tonight with LaNorris Sellers playing whatever amount of snaps that he's going to play, I think there's always going to be that asterisk at the bottom later on in the season where they will say that, well, yeah, they beat South Carolina, but it was with an injured LaNorris Sellers. But let's take this